community back again. We have a quick stream with producer Tezuka-san.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi.
Come over to show us our two iPad iOS offerings. We have Street Fighter Cross Tekken, and we also have newly announced Ace Attorney Trilogy HD, both coming to iPad very soon. But also off camera, we have Reed. Can't see you, but is there, ready to translate. Yeah, if you're watching in the chat, we can take some questions about the mobile versions of Cross Tekken and Ace Attorney. But in the meantime, we can actually just run through the features of Street Fighter Cross Tekken specifically, and discuss kind of some of the differences it has. And we're going to do this totally low-rent style and take a camera like that. But yeah, if you want to take us through the features.
はい、まあ、最初でカイルでお願いします。
Main arcade box.
Okay, so we're going to start with the arcade mode.
Yeah, I guess the first thing I noticed that was different is actually how the gems work. I noticed they function a little differently.
まず初めて気づいたのは、ジェムの使い方がちょっと今回は違いますよね、コンソール版と。
はい。やっぱり iOS のゲームなんで、誰でもシンプルに遊べるように、すごく簡単に遊べるようになっているので、その辺で仕様を変更してます。
So yeah, for the iOS version, we wanted to make this game more for the casual user, and as a result, we wanted to actually be able to take that system and make it a little bit easier for the casual user to use.
このゲームではこの X ボタンがすごく重要なボタンになるんですけど、前と X を当てるとこういうふうにルーレットが回って、今これこういうのがアップしましたね。
So in this game, the X button, the tag button, is going to be one of the major buttons you want to use. If you hit the X and forward at the same time, it not only switches, it causes a launcher, which switches out your two characters, but it activates the gem roulette, which that you saw there. And so it will randomly select the gem. The player does not get to select; it just selects on its own. Like think of Mario Kart, if you will.
Yeah.
And then that can do things like attack power-ups, defense power-ups, speed, etc.
Well, it plays into the whole Pandora's box thing, where you can kind of choose you don't know what's going to come out. Like you don't know what will activate when. Like there was an element of surprise, I thought. Or do you choose the gems ahead of time, like immense power? I thought it was like you put some gems like in a like you could choose some options, and then when you do the launcher, you won't know which one will activate. Is that still how it works?
使い方に関してですけれども、そのジェムを選択する方っていうか、ルレットが変わってるんですけれども、その事前に何かパンドラボックスのもう設定をしてからゲームに入れるっていう感じですかね。
そうですね。パンドラボックスを選択するとやつなんですが、パンドラボックスの中身は他のところで選ぶことができます。
So yeah, you want to set up your Pandora's box. Gonna go ahead and I guess show us the Pandora's box. One second. So unfortunately, we're not on Wi-Fi, so we can't show you the Pandora's box at this time.
So it's like it's a thing you can set up, and then rather than choose your gems like at the beginning, like specific things, you have this like pool of gems that might be activated depending on when you use the launcher. You'll choose one of the gems out of that. I believe is how it works.
そうですね。コンソール版でそのジェムを選択してからそのセンターに入れるわけじゃなくて、今回はそのパンドラスボックスというもう設定でその入ってる設定のものをそのレッドで出てくるんですよね。
そうですね。こう力がパワーが上がるとか防御力が上がるとかそういうパンドラボックスの種類があってこれを選ぶだけっていうことですね。
Yeah, so for these Pandora boxes, we have a Pandora's box that like increases your power, one that increases your defense, one that increases your speed. So by selecting one of these Pandora's boxes, that's the types of gems that are going to come out when you activate this roulette.
And people asking about the release date. Any new information on that?
配信予定について質問が入ってきましたけれども、
もう本当もうすぐですね。9月中には何とか配信できるんじゃないかと。
Yeah, so right now we're not saying an exact date, but just know it's coming out sometime this September. So it's coming out very, very soon. Yeah.
And then one thing I thought that was a pretty clever change from the console version is how the second character works. If we want to talk about that, or also maybe the decision of why, like I thought it was a pretty thoughtful change to make for the mobile version about the second player doesn't have their own life bar. It's more of a timer. Did they maybe talk about like the decision behind that or how that came to be?
そうですね、もう一つの、気づいてよかったなと思ったのは、今回の、キャラクターのチーム2人いますけれども、1人がメインで1人がサブで、そのサブキャラの使い方、あとはそのゲージの使い方とかを、かなり良かったなと思いますので、なんで iOS 版でそういう、風に開発したかと、その理由をお願いいたします。
iOS のアプリケーションはあんまり大きなアプリケーションは作れないんですね。容量の制限がやっぱりコンシューマーと比べると広がりますし、でキャラクターの数があまり多く出せないんですよ。
So one of the first things is that there are some limitations with the iOS device even, and that so for iOS games you have to make a few tweaks and changes to allow it to work for that. Another thing is also because it is an iOS device, there's a lot of characters in the console version, but we can't put all those characters in a portable version like this.
なのでその竜とカズヤのタッグとカズヤと竜のタッグで違う遊びにしたかったんですね。
So, for example, if you have a team of like Ryu and Kazuya, or Kazuya and Ryu, if it's just tag, then it's going to be the same thing. So by having this system, it actually changes the way in which you play with these characters.
Yeah, absolutely.
だからどちらのキャラクターをメインで選んでるかどうかっていうので遊び方が変わるような仕掛けにしました。
So by doing this, by choosing which character is going to be the main character or the sub-character, again, that's going to change how you choose to plan out your fight and play throughout the game.
Yeah, I thought it was a really cool way to like. It still feels like Cross Tekken, but I thought it was a pretty cool way to actually make that the second player like feel like an actual tag partner. That they come in, they're only available as long as that blue meter on the top is active. But then rather than take damage, they just lose the amount of time they can stay on the screen.
そうですね、その使い方に関してはかなりもう、クロス鉄拳、ストークローっぽいなんですけれども、ただその本当にもうサブキャラクターって感じをしまして、でそのゲージがありますけれども、そのゲージがなくなるまでは、ずっといまして、でも体力バーがないということで、もうダメージ受けられないし、非常に良かったなと思います。
そうですね、メインの勝負はメインのキャラクターの体力がなくなった時にしてサブのキャラクターは体力ゲージがないので、サブのキャラクターとメインのキャラクターを使い分けるというのはすごくゲームの攻略になっています。
So yeah, I mean, in this game, you lose when the health of the main character dies. There's no health for the sub-character. So when your sub-character is in there, he actually doesn't take any damage. So that becomes, again, one way of choosing how you want to play throughout the match.
And it also, I feel, makes the Pandora mode, the comeback mechanic, a little more useful. Because rather than lose the match, you just lose that other character. So it's still possible to stay alive and perhaps even win. Even though, because currently in Pandora, on the console version, you lose the match if you don't win after you've activated it. So I thought it actually made the Pandora mode a little more interesting.
そう、パンドラボックスに関してはですね、もう今回例えばそのサブキャラとパンドラボックスを使ってそのサブキャラがいなくなったとしても、その体力が残ればまだ生き延びれるんですけれども、コンソール版の場合、そのパンドラボックスを使ってしまって、もしそれで勝てなければもうすぐに死んでしまって負けますので、今回のパンドラボックスの使い方の方が良いのではないかと。
Mind if I play really quick?
ブレンさんにちょっとやってよろしいでしょうか。
どうぞ。
Go right ahead.
We can we'll move the camera around. Yeah, this is it's always unique. So yeah, so I thought it was pretty fun. Like I think Ryu and Chun-Li are a fun way to like show off. I was playing this a little earlier. I actually think this is really fun.
そう毎日と遊んでて、やっぱりリュウとチャンリそのペアがいいなと思いまして。
But I thought it was just easy to see, like, you know, how easy it is to like do some actual like nice combos and actually make it kind of interesting. So like you can still do that crouching medium into a fireball.
そうですね、もう本当にもう角度ゲーっぽいところもありまして、例えばそのしゃがんでパンチをやると、そこから波動拳に入りますし。
Man, the computer's pretty rough.
パソコンかなり難しいですね。
これ使いたいペアが決まっている場合はもう固定でインスタントで選べるように設定できるんで、
すいません。
固定で竜とチュンリーとかも常に選びたい場合は一人ずつ選ばなくても最初から固定のペア選べるような設定もできるので。
So he's saying that so if you don't want to go through the process of picking your favorite characters over and over again every time you pick a match, you can actually there's an option to create like a favorites pair or a set in the game, and so you can just choose that selection every time when you want to actually start playing the game.
そういうのが気軽に遊びやすく作ってるのがポイントですね。
So the main point for a lot of the changes in this version of the game is that it's geared to make things easier and more simpler.
Right.
格闘ゲーム自体はちょっと難しいと思ってる人もいると思うんですけども、非常に気楽に遊べるので、ぜひ遊んでもらいたい。
Yeah, so for there are a lot of fighting, or there are people out there that think, it might be difficult to get into fighting games, or that it's difficult to kind of strike and use a lot of things in fighting games. But he really wanted to make it easy and have it so that anyone could play a fighting game like this.
Yeah, it's like much like Street Fighter 4 for iOS. It's very easy to jump into, but if you actually dig a little bit, you can actually still pull off a lot of the stuff that you did in the full version. It's surprisingly fun. I wasn't expecting. I'm very pleasantly surprised.
そうですね、ストリートファイター4のあやさんと同様で、カジュアル向けでちょっと気軽に遊べるゲームでしたけれども、もし深くいけば、まだそのちゃんとしたシステムもありますので、それはもう意外と
そこがやっぱ一番苦労する。
そうちょっと驚きましたと。
気軽に遊べるんだけど、遊び込むとどんどんその新しい発見があるっていう。コアなゲームユーザーもカジュアルなユーザーも両方とも納得できるような作りにするっていうのがかなり難しいんです。
So that was actually one of the things that he wanted to focus on this version, making it easy enough for someone to get into and start playing it. But the more and more you played it, you start learning more about all the functionality and the depth that's in the game.
Of course, I use it on the partner character, so it just really Chun-Li with the partner didn't really help me that much.
さっき何でしたっけ、クロスアーツを、そのサブキャラに使ってしまったので、もう効かなかったんです。
そうですね。相手がサブキャラメインかも考えながらやっぱりやるっていうのが攻略の一つのポイントです。
So again, another thing to think about when you're playing is, if you waste your super combo, or sorry, your I forgot the word. Your cross art on your super art on the sub-character, that too becomes something to think about. Like, do you want to waste your thing on a character that doesn't take any health, or do you want to waste it when the main character comes back out? So in this game, one way to kind of do a quick combo is similar to the console version. You just hit the punch 3 times and it automatically generates the combo for you. Same thing for kick and other buttons.
Right. Taking it back to you now.
じゃあまたお願いします。
So yeah, we can do any other features we wanted to highlight, or we can show Ace Attorney for a little bit as well.
今回何かご紹介したい部分がありますでしょうか。
そうですね。まださっき言ったやつで言うと、普通のパンチを押しても技変わらないんですけど、当たるとどんどん技が進んでいって、誰でも簡単にコンボができる。
So if you notice, if you're not close to the opponent and you just hit punch, 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 it's just the same motion. But if you're actually hitting the opponent, it then becomes a combo. So again, it's really kind of an easy way for anyone to get into this kind of game.
このコンボからだと X につなぎやすいんで。
So when you're doing this combo. So he's trying to connect by hitting like punch punch and then the X button.
ランチャータックからのコンボがまたつながるんで。
So with that, you can see you can connect the launcher with the combo, and then also activate Pandora's roulette as well.
やられた。
Yeah, the computer is really tough.
やっぱりCPU の方が強いんですね。
Is there any word on price?
価格についての質問がかなり多いんです。
ああ、なるほど。ちょっと価格はですね、今は言えないんですよ。結構期待してもらっていいと思うんですけど、まだ今言えないんで申し訳ないんですけど、もう少し待ってください。
So his apology. Unfortunately, we can't discuss the price at this point, but just hold on a little bit more until we have that ready.
And you see there, special in each direction does a different special move. It's like forward and special for use the fireball, back and special is the hurricane kick. Easy access to all the moves, but
そうですね。その AC バットの押すだけでもうその必殺できるんだし、例えばその前と AC を押してハドゥーケン、後ろと SP がそのハリケーンキックとか。
僕はチュンリーとか使うことはないんですけど、
はい、
初めて使っても SP 押すだけで、それなりに使えるっていうのが、このゲームのいいところですね。
Yeah, so like other fighting games that we have out there, by hitting just anyone can perform a special move now.
普段こういうゲームをしてない人でもとにかく派手な技がどんどん出て楽しめるんで。
So
yeah, for someone that doesn't normally play a game like this game is designed again for really anyone to get into and just start playing.
And there we see the Pandora mode, yeah. Which again, thanks to the way the partner character works, if the timer ran out, you wouldn't lose the match, which is a nice it's still a risk because you lose that second character, but you don't automatically lose the match.
そうですね。今回のパンドラボックスの使い方なんですけれども、ゲージがなくなっても、そのサーブキャラがなくなったとしてもまだ勝てるチャンスはありますので、それがまだすごいところだと思います。
iPad と操作しにくいから。
It's a little bit difficult to work on the iPad, is what he's saying.
Yeah.
そのバットの位置を変えれるところとかをそういうメントができましょうか。
さっきそんだけやりましたけど、ここでボタンの操作部分をこうやって。
So you might have seen it earlier while he was playing the game, but you can go into the options at any time and actually change the location of all the buttons. You can change the transparency, how light, or how the opacity, if you will.
Right.
And you can turn to have that ring on and off around the joystick area.
そう、ストリートファイター4の iPhone 版出すときに、レティナディスプレイとか、HD に対応してほしいっていうリクエストがすごく多かったんですけど、ストリートファイター4はグラフィックを 2D のキャプチャリングだったので、メモリが多くなりすぎてもレティナ対応無理だったんですよ。ずっとレティナ対応したかったんですけど、今回 3D になったので、完全にレティナディスプレイに対応ができるようになりました。
So with we've had a lot of requests for Street Fighter 4 to have a Retina display version of it, an update for that. However, the way that the game was made, the Street Fighter 4 iOS version, was it used 2D capturing.
Okay.
And so that's how they were able to capture all the characters and the moves, etc. And so in order to do an upgrade for that, it would just take up too much memory to do the upgrading for all the characters.
I see, right.
So for this one, they wanted to make sure they do a Retina display version for the Cross Tekken. So they went ahead and all the character models are actually 3D.
Okay.
So this will easily support Retina display devices as well.
Yeah, obviously the over-the-shoulder camera doesn't do it justice, but it does look really nice, and it animates really well too.
そうですね、いわゆる後ろから撮ってるカメラのけどもあまりうまく映ってないんですけれども、まあ、画面が非常に綺麗ですと。
はい、かなり苦労しました、このグラフィックスにする。はい、かなりやっぱりコンソール版と比べると表示できるポリゴンの数とかテクスチャーとかの量も全然違うんで、その中で同じように見せるためにだいぶ苦労しました。
Yeah, so we understand that, with this device, I mean, when you compare this to like the console version, for example, you're not going to see all the crisp details in the console. There's going to be significantly less for than this, but it does look good for a Retina display game.
What kind of like multiplayer, like playing with other friends, functionality is there?
マルチプレイの対戦に関しては何かありますでしょうか？
もちろん Bluetooth で対戦できるんですけども、まあそれ以外にも Wi-Fi での対戦を楽しむことができるようになってます。
So of course to the already, as you know, like the Bluetooth compatibility, this also will support Wi-Fi as well. So you can do Wi-Fi fights.
So local or also all around?
それはそのローカルの Wi-Fi です。それとももう世界中のプレイヤーと。
世界中のプレイヤーと対戦できます。
So you can fight anyone all over the world as well.
Cool. You know if it has like a similar feature like Street Fighter 4 Volt's got the like that tournament update to make it more friendly for tournaments. Is there something like that for this in the works as well?
Street Fighter 4 iOS 版にはアップデートとしてその大会モードが追加されましたけれども、今回も同じような予定はございますでしょうか？
そうですね。全く同じじゃないんですけども、ちょっと似たような企画を考えてます。
So yeah, there is not the exact same system going to be in this one, but he is thinking about incorporating a very similar system into this title.
ネットワークを使って単純に対戦をするだけじゃなくて、もうちょっといろんな競い合いの要素が追加される予定になっています。
So yeah, it's not going to be simply just going on there and playing other persons just for the sake of doing so. They are thinking about using that as a way to incorporate new things into the game.
How does the replay saving and sharing work on this?
今回のリプレイについてですけれども、どうやって使えるんですか？その使い方と保存の仕方。
保存の仕方はさっきみたいにプレイの後にレックっていうボタンが出るので、それを押すと自動的に録画されます。
So yeah, as you saw at the end of the fight, there's always that record button. If you hit that, it'll record it and save it to your My Data.
ここでリプレイデータっていう。
And then from here you go to My Replay Data. And then you can just pick one of these movies here, hit play.
Okay. Is there a way to share that with other people, or is it local to your machine only?
それはシェアできますでしょうか？
ですね。
それとも端末に保存されてるのみですか？
シェアできるんですけど、
So it sounds like you can share it, but で？
シェアの機能が途中で追加されます。
But the share functionality will be added at a later time.
Okay. So this is currently the replay of this.
そうですね。これはリプレイの動画ですよね。
リプレイをプレイしようとしてます。
He was just trying to play the replay.
グローバルバトルっていうのが Wi-Fi の対戦。
So this area that you see here, the global battle, that's actually going to be your Wi-Fi fighting.
ここはオフラインなんで今できないんですけど。
But because we're offline right now, we can't show you that feature this time, unfortunately.
How many characters are actually in the final version playable?
最終版にはキャラクターは何体いますでしょうか？
最終版っていうのはリリース版っていう意味ですよ。
はい。
バージョンアップでキャラクター追加していく予定が一応あるんだけど、それまだあんまり言ったらダメ。
So right now, じゃあ今はリリース版には
今10体ですよ、10体。
リリース版には何キャラでいますでしょうか？
10体です、10体。
So right now there's the 10 characters that you see here for the release version of the game.
まあ有名なキャラクターから厳選していただいて。こういうふうにロード中にいろんなことを教えてくれるんです。
So yeah, as you may have seen with Street Fighter 4, when you're waiting for the loading screen, it's going to have the little tips and tricks beforehand. You can also select your command list to go through all of your command moves here. And if you hit the side there, you'll actually bring on a side to check out other characters. So yeah, feel free to check this out to see both your character and sub-character moves before you play the game.
Okay.
He hasn't shown you guys enough of Super Arts just yet, so I think he's trying to build that up. Having a little bit of trouble though.
We've got about 10 minutes to go. Do we want to show any Ace Attorney? We've got about 10 minutes left.
あと10分もありますので、逆転裁判の方に移りましょうか。はい。He'd like to show us some of the cross arts first, then we'll head into that.
顔のアイコンのところを。
はい。So by simply touching the characters' heads in the upper right-hand, left-hand corner, whether it's yours or the opponent's, if you have the 3 bars of energy there, that's going to activate the cross arts.
Okay.
As long as it connects.
Oh, with both on the screen?
Yeah, so you don't have to do any kind of complicated input. It's simply just touching their faces, and then it will activate that. All right, so let's go ahead and move on to Ace Attorney then.
Okay. Can come back on camera real quick. Yeah, so that wraps up. We're showing Street Fighter Cross Tekken Mobile. It's for iOS. Comes out sometime next month in September. A little bit different, but it has a lot of thoughtful changes, I think, that make it more suitable for a tablet. And just really easy to jump into and play. Similar to Street Fighter 4 for iPhone, but I don't know, just really, really fun to play, quite honestly.